I got bats in my head. Well, Bob just leaned over the counter and he shook his head and said, you need home repairs and solutions. Home repairs and solutions. They'll fix your windows, they'll fix your house. They'll even tell you how to get rid of a mouse. Home repairs and solutions.
It's a Friday, time now for Home Repairs and Solutions with Mark and Mary. Brought to you by Spring Mountain Air Heating and Air Conditioner, your local Amana dealer. And now here are your hosts, Mary Pearson and Mark Withers. Good morning, guys.
Good morning, Dan.
Morning, Dan.
Good morning, Mark.
Beautiful day in the Ozarks.
Morning, Mary.
Yes, it is. It's a gorgeous sunny day. Almost perfect weather.
It is.
Just, open the windows. We've got our windows open,
yes.
And it feels great, but boy, does it make everything dusty.
It does.
It does. I got up this morning and went, ew, someone needs to clean house.
Well, we need a good rain,
We
slow
do.
rain for a couple of days, kind of settle all that dust and wash everything off the leaves and all that
That
blows
would be
in.
good.
And so, yeah, but yes, it is beautiful. I even rode the motorcycle to the office one day this week. Left the house, is about 45 degrees. Ooh, that was a nice, cool ride.
Isn't that
in.
great?
It is. That's
that
so
great?
invigorating. I mean,
It
the time I
is.
got there, I was woke up.
I'll bet you didn't
I didn't need coffee.
You didn't need your coffee, did you?
Oh,
you were ready to go.
I was ready to go. That's right.
Well, good deal.
Yeah. So.
Well, welcome everyone today. We'll introduce our guest for today. We have Jeff with Dale's Roofing with us today. So get your questions ready. If you have any questions about roofing or anything, he'll be happy to answer those for you. So welcome to the show today, Jeff.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for coming on. What we might want to do is to remind everyone that here in just a little bit, we'll let Jeff give out of his contact information. So get your paper and pencil ready. And
That's
that
right.
way, when he gives out his phone number and stuff, you'll be ready to go. So we'll do that here in just a little bit.
That's right. And like I say, if you got some questions, be sure and have them ready because we want you to call in. And
We do. Jeff's anxious to answer your questions.
he is. I can tell by looking at him. He is just
He
raring
is.
to go. He wants to talk now.
He's ready to go. Well, we might should give out those phone numbers before we get started.
Well, that's a good idea, Mary. 862-9977, 1-800-375-0056. Free call for no matter where you are, so there's no excuse for not calling.
That's right. And you can call about anything you want to, actually.
Yeah, we'll talk about anything.
Sure. If you want to talk about the weather or Mark's music or your furnace or whatever it
Yeah.
is,
Yep,
or the
that's right.
roof. The specialist today here, though, is here to talk about roofs. So we'll kind of start out in that direction and see where it goes.
Yes, we will. Roofing is probably one of the most important things on a house. It's what takes the beating.
That's right. It protects everything, all your investment inside the house.
Yep, that's right. And now's a good time of the year, actually, before winter does set in. If you do need roof repairs or a new roof, now's a good time probably to think about that.
This is one of the best times to put the roof on because you've still got a little bit of heat to make sure everything seals down
Seals
properly.
down.
Then the roofers, it's not too hot for the roofers to get up there, get quite a bit done in a day, get your project put on in timely manner, and
Yeah,
everything be good to go for winter.
you're ready for winter time.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
And nobody wants a leaky roof in the wintertime.
Nobody wants a leaky roof, period.
That's true.
Yeah.
But especially in the
winter
wintertime.
Yep, that's right.
Then it's a real mess.
Yep.
So, I have a question for you, and I can't remember if I saw this on your website or not. But do you do roof inspections? I mean, they're to make sure to see if there's any problems. I mean, I'm thinking with some of the high winds we've had, and I guess probably tree branch
So we
damage and all that. I mean, do you just go out and inspect it and say, okay, you have a potential problem here and
We
there?
do. We do free roof inspections.
Okay.
Just give us a call. We'll come out, take a look at all your roofs, check out roofs from the gutter line up.
Okay. Okay.
We can locate any potential problems that are happening right now or could happen in the future.
Because most of the time, I know when I have a problem is when the water's running down the wall.
Exactly right.
And that's not a good time to find that out. We did have that happen one time. It was not pleasant.
No.
So, anyway, that ended up being a re-roofing job.
Yeah.
But that was a few years ago, and everything's good, so that was good. But I just thought about that because, in our business, we do a lot of pre-maintenance type stuff, so, preventative maintenance type stuff. And I didn't know if you guys did that in the roofing industry as well. But I would think that you would. Another thing is there are so many different roofs now, different shingles and things like that. Is there one type of roof that's better than another? Like, is a metal roof better than a shingled roof, or does it matter? Or
It all depends on how they're installed.
okay,
There's different grades of materials. You start out with your lowest, which is the 3-tab, which in this area, that's rated for a 25-year shingle.
okay,
And then you can go all the way up to a lifetime shingle. And the metal goes anywhere from 45 years to a lifetime as well. There's different designs in all categories of it.
you can get a lifetime shingle.
That's
I
correct.
did not know that.
Yep.
I'm thinking that would be a pretty good idea.
Yes.
I didn't realize that you could get them so that they're guaranteed for a lifetime.
Yes, against manufacturer's defects.
Wow. Okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah. Roofing's changed. I've sold roofing forever. I worked for several years for Meeks and then for Herman Lumber, and so I've been pretty familiar with shingles over the years. It's amazing how much they've changed back from when I was growing up and all my uncles and stuff were in the building business. It was just basically an old 3-tab asphalt shingle. You didn't have a whole lot of choice. And then we developed a little bit better shingles. With the fiberglass mat in them, and then we go to the architectural type shingles. It's just amazing what's out there now. I mean, the technology is grew over the last few years.
There's styles for everybody out there.
Yeah. There's shingles that looks, got like the scallops, and then I mean, it's just it really amazes me of the different types.
Yeah. With the shingles nowadays, doesn't matter what your budget is, you can give it anything that'll fit your lifestyle and serve all your needs to protect your whole investment.
Does it matter to the insurance company which roof you have? Is there some sort of insurance benefit if you have one roof over another?
There are impact ratings with the shingles, and the
Okay.
higher class of impact rating, you can, with certain insurance companies, get premium reductions.
Wow. Okay. That just popped into my head too, because I know that with certain products, you can get some sort of reduction in your insurance, and I didn't know if roofing was one of those that qualified for that or
It
not.
is, yes.
Okay.
What's your most popular shingle that you use right now?
Right now it's the architectural design.
Is it?
Yes.
Yeah, it seems to be. I know that's what we use on all of our new houses that we build, is architecturals. As far as shingles goes, tell folks the difference, what they're going to find if they buy just a plain 3-tab as opposed to an architectural. A lot of folks don't know what that means.
Well, the plain 3-tab is just what's on most of the older homes. It's just a flat shingle, mainly just one color. There's not a whole lot of variation with it. The architectural gives it more depth and dimension, makes the roofs kind of stand out a little bit more. And it's a laminated shingle, so there's one solid base sheet with it. Then there's another layer laminated on top of it. So in certain spots of the shingle, you're getting double protection with it.
Right. Now, are shingles still made with asphalt like they used to be? Only they have a different, I call it a mat. I don't know for sure what the proper term for it is.
There is still some asphalt with it. It's all petroleum based. But now they have the fiberglass blend with it.
Right.
It's made to, it's going to stand up and hold up longer.
I remember when I was in the business and the fiberglass shingles first came out, if you tried to put them on when it's cold, they would crack and stuff. You don't really have that problem nowadays. I mean,
Not anymore.
Yeah.
As long as it's above 32 degrees, most manufacturers say you can install them. And they're going to seal down properly.
Yeah. Now shingles, and I don't know where you get your shingles or what brand you sell, but used to be that if you got shingles in this area that was made in more of a northern region, they sealed down quicker than shingles that was made in the south, for instance. Is that still the case, or are they pretty much all the same?
I think they're pretty much all the same right
Are they?
now.
Yeah. Because I know Owens Corning was always one of my favorite shingles, and the ones that we sold came out of the north, and man, they would stick down. Matter of fact, if it was real hot and they was laying there in a bundle, you almost couldn't get them apart.
Yeah.
And so, but they really did stick good. But I've sold Owens Corning, Tamco's, the Elk. I've been around them all. What do you think is the best shingle out there on the market right now, though?
We use a lot of Owens Corning.
Do you?
But there's 4 major brands that are all very similar. There's the Tamco, GAF Elk, Certainteed, and Owens Corning.
Right.
And those 4 brands, all of those hold up really well.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we've always had good luck with them. Of course, Tamco's are made, or it used to be in Joplin.
They're still,
I guess they
they're
still
still
are.
in Joplin,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, so they're more of a local shingle. So.
Oh, well, that's good.
Yeah.
I didn't know we had a local shingle manufacturing place.
Absolutely. Tamco's been around for several years.
Quite a while.
Yeah.
Does the pitch of the roof determine what kind of shingle can go on, or or does that not matter?
If it's real low sloped, it's not, the shingles can't go on there.
Oh,
You have to put it
okay.
on a rubber membrane of some
Okay.
sort. But as far as this, like when it gets real high pitch, you can still put any shingle on there.
Put any shingle on there. Okay.
As long as it's all properly nailed.
Okay. All right.
Now, do you do commercial work also, like flat roofs and stuff?
A little bit, not a whole lot. We usually stick with the residential stuff.
Right, right. 862-9977, 1-800-375-0056. If you got a question for Jeff or Mary or myself, we'd love to talk to you today. We're talking roofing, and you know, there's just so many different choices people have, so many different colors. Do you guys do metal roofs also?
Yes, we do.
You know, I've seen that become a little more popular with people. Do you guys do a lot, or you know?
We do quite a few of them now.
Uh-huh.
There's a lot of the older homes.
Mhm.
People are really wanting to put the metal on there.
Yeah.
Makes the characteristics of the house stand out a little
Yeah.
better.
Yeah, I'd say probably a lot in the rural areas.
Yes.
People really, from what I understand, really like the metal roof.
And then there's two different styles. One that's got looks like the sheet metal.
Mhm.
Then there's another product out there called Decra that actually looks like shingles, and you can get different styles with those as well.
And it's metal?
Yes.
So it looks like shingles.
It's stone coated steel.
Wow. I tend to kind of like the metal roofs myself. Is there an advantage to having metal over a shingle?
Just the wearability. There's no grainers on them that can fall off, so they're going to last longer. You just have, just like any other roof, you have to do maintenance with them. Just make sure all the fasteners get sealed up properly.
Oh, okay.
Is there maintenance that a person needs to do on their just regular asphalt shingle or fiberglass shingle, whichever?
It's always best to check it out because tabs do. I mean, it's all, like we said, asphalt and fiberglass based. So the seals can start wearing down a little bit and just start getting granular loss. So just usually good visual inspection. Get up there, check the pipe boots, make sure they're sealed up properly. Because that's usually where most leaks come
Exactly.
in.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, when you just put on a roof, do you, if you see that there's not enough roof vents, do you recommend putting more vents, or do you guys
Yes.
put more vents?
Yeah,
you know, because a lot of folks don't realize how important ventilation in an attic is. And I see a lot of houses that don't have proper ventilation, not enough airflow. And one thing that's always been a pet peeve of mine, I used to talk about this on the show all the time, you know, people who use a wind turbine on their house, which a wind turbine is great, I mean, for moving air, but they cover them up during the winter. Don't cover your wind turbines up.
That's one of
you
the
know?
worst things you can do.
Yeah, absolutely. And but you need good ventilation in that, especially during these real hot summer times, because I've always been told that can really decrease the life of your shingle.
It does. What it does, it starts cooking the shingles from the bottom side up.
Right.
And in the wintertime, if you cover up your ventilation, then all you're doing is trapping the moisture in the attic, and you're going to get condensation.
Right.
So you're going to start getting spots showing up in all throughout your ceilings.
Right. And if you have proper insulation in your attic, you want that airflow. It's not going to really change the way your house, or the efficiency of your house. It's really going to help with that air up in the attic. Like you say, it'll prevent the condensation in the winter. Because what that's going to do then, when we get the sun shining and it melts in there, it drips off in your insulation, and it hurts your R values and everything else. So
Yeah, you can go into a house that's not properly insulated or ventilated in the winter and just see on the bottom side of the decking, all the nails, frost covering everything.
yeah.
And like you said, as soon as that sun hits it, it starts melting off and just drops everywhere.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep, that's right. We got a caller. Gail in Walnut Grove. Go ahead, Gail.
Hello. How many layers of shingles can go on a roof, and can you determine this when you come out for your pre-inspection?
In Greene County right now, 2 is the maximum layers. And yes, the roofing specialist, when he comes out, checks that layers on. They usually try to do it on every slope out there.
Okay, so I know it's got at least 2 on, so I didn't know if you could put a third and then that was it, after 2, you have to rip everything off then.
That's correct.
Okay. And does the customer order his roofing shingles, or do you order them?
We take care of all that.
Okay, because last time I went to Meeks and sort of estimated how much to buy and have it delivered. It's pretty close, but I didn't know, so.
Yeah,
Okay.
we take care of the ordering and the delivery in Holloway.
And you work for who?
Dale's Roofing.
Dale's?
Yes, sir.
What's the number there?
The number is 882-2158.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Thank you.
How long has Dale's been in business?
This is our 25th year.
25 years.
Yes,
That's
sir.
a pretty good reputation right there. And you've been with them.
I've been with them 8 years next week.
Really? Well, great. I know Dale's has always had a good reputation. I always hear good things about Dale's Roofing. And I knew they'd been around for a long time. I just didn't know how long, so. 862-9977, 1-800-375-0056. And I think we have another caller on, don't we, Dan?
We do.
This is Brian.
From Saddlebrook.
Go ahead,
I have
Brian.
a question. You're talking about ventilation and tiles. What about houses with no attic? Like I have a house that has a gabled roof, and I don't have an attic. It's just one big loft.
Mm-hmm.
And I've noticed here recently there's been a few shingles starting to just slide off of it, like they're not even nailed down. Is ventilation something that could possibly be causing that, since it doesn't have any?
It very well could. You could be getting moisture built up underneath the decking, and the nails could be working out, or it may just been improperly installed.
Well, it is 25 years old, so it's probably
Okay.
improperly installed and all the above.
Yeah.
I was just wondering, I didn't know about the ventilation factor on gable roofs.
Yeah, usually on the gable roofs, you can put it's called a ridge vent across the top of it. And as long as the insulation has the proper battings in there to let the airflow up through from the soffits to the vent ridge, that's usually very sufficient.
Okay, well, thank you very much.
Yep, thank you.
I know on our new construction where we do a gable or like a cathedral ceiling in a room, we put the chutes or the baffles in there, and where it does let airflow get up under there between your ceiling joist, and so yeah, that definitely helps. On the average, and I know this is kind of a loaded question here because it's just like going into some place and say I want a 25-year paint, which nobody can predict what kind of weather we're going to have or our conditions. But on the average, how long should a roof last?
In this area, anywhere from 18 to 25 years.
Mm-hmm.
That's usually a pretty good average.
Mm-hmm.
Just because we have extreme heat in the summer and extreme
Right.
cold in the winter.
Sure.
So we get the worst of both ends of it.
Yeah, and like I say, nobody can predict, what we're going to have as far as, hail and everything else. But so 18 to 25 years.
That just all depends on the style that's put on. As long as you're doing proper maintenance with it, then
Right. And like I say, it's just because it says it's a 25-year shingle doesn't mean that shingle is going to last 25 years.
oh no, that's for the manufacturer's warranty. It'll be free of defects for that long.
Right. Felt paper. Do you have to put felt under it for the warranty? Or now I've been out on some jobs and I've seen them, especially on a steep pitch, laying shingles with no felt. Your take on that?
In Greene County, it's code to put felt down. And there's a new type of decking out there. You don't have to put felt. You just have to put the decking down and then tape the seams.
Right.
But felt is a very good idea. It's your last opportunity to stop water from penetrating your home.
Okay. So very important. 15, 30 pound.
15 is usually sufficient, but we're trying to use a lot of 30-pound right now.
Okay. What about what products are available, like to seal your valleys and stuff? Is there anything special that you use?
We usually use double lap or felt in the valley, and then you can either put ice and water shield down there, which is a rubber membrane that sticks down to the decking itself, or you can put valley metal in there as well.
Okay. Okay. We're coming up here in just a few months, in winter. And something that a lot of folks don't understand that I've ran into is if they don't maintain their gutters, they don't keep their gutters good and cleaned out so the water flows away, what happens when we do start getting rain and it starts freezing, it starts building up a dam. And that will literally push right back up under your shingles.
Yes, it will. Yeah, ice dams cause a lot of leaks in winter, especially in this area where we're getting a lot of ice.
Right.
Or if snow sits on your roof for a long time. All it does is just the water or the ice freezes at the bottom. Then once it hits above where the attic is, it starts melting. Then it runs down, hits that ice, and it can't run through it. So the ice just pushes it back up underneath the shingles and runs in.
Right. And so a lot of people will say, well, they put these on wrong, blah, blah, blah. Well, no, it's not a problem of installation. It's just the fact that you're having an ice dam.
Exactly.
You're not keeping your gutters cleaned out. I see a lot of people that they don't clean their gutters and they leave them full of leaves and everything else, and that just that's just a
Or you drive by somebody's house and it looks like they got little trees growing out of their gutters.
yeah. Oh yeah, I've seen that. Definitely. And so it's so important to maintain those gutters to maintain a good leak-free roof.
Exactly. Yes.
So that's a little tip that you need to be looking at right now. I mean, we're coming into fall. Leaves are going to start falling. Man, get them things cleaned out.
My husband always does that with the leaf blower. He always cleans out the gutters.
Yeah.
And he walks around on the roof. I guess, does it not hurt to walk around on your tiles? And stuff? I mean, that's how he cleans it out, is he gets on the roof and walks around and blows them out. I guess that's okay.
It is, as long as you're not twisting your feet when you're walking. As long as you walk flat-footed. And because otherwise, if you start twisting your feet, you're going to scar those shingles. And what you're doing when you scar it, you're just ripping the granules right off of it.
I see. Okay. Well, yeah, he does a good job of keeping all the gutters and everything cleaned out. But I was just thinking about that because I thought, well, I wonder if he's supposed to be walking on the shingles like that. But he's done it for a long time, and I guess it's okay because we don't have any leaks yet. Knock on wood. But
Well, yeah, and another thing, you don't want to get up there, and nobody should be on the roof when it's 110 degrees outside, but when it's real super hot and the shingles get soft, I would think you wouldn't want to be
Yeah,
up there
they
walking
scar
around.
very easy right
Yeah,
then.
yeah. So don't get on your roof when it's that hot.
Hadn't
But
thought
you don't
about
need to
that.
anyhow,
yeah, not when it's that hot.
Nah, sit inside the air conditioning.
There you go.
Yeah, that's
That'll
right.
work.
That'll work. 862-9977, 1-800-375-0056, Home Repairs and Solutions, and we're talking with Jeff from Dale's Roofing, and roofing's very important, and a lot of people neglect a roof. I've drove by roofs that they're just literally falling off. I mean, they're curling up, they're deteriorating. Gosh, get that changed. That's so important to maintain your house, and it affects not only the efficiency of your house, because if you get water in, it soaks your insulation, you lose efficiency right there. There's just so many things a leaky roof can cause. I've seen roof leaks, and you may not realize this till you're in the construction business, but water will run in, they'll run down a joist where you're seeing the leak on your ceiling. It may be 20 feet away. It's just amazing. So it's so important to get that checked out.
I think that might be why sometimes it's hard for a homeowner to find their own leak. Because if they see
It
a
is.
water spot here and they go up and look at the roof above there and they don't see anything wrong there, then you have to kind of hunt it down. So
Yeah.
I think for a typical homeowner, that might be something that's a little difficult to try and pinpoint because it's not typically where it's coming through inside. We've had that experience as well.
Yep, absolutely. We got Lenora holding on here in Springfield. Go ahead, Lenora.
Good morning. I really enjoy your show. I listen every Friday, and
thank you.
I have found some people through you. But I'm calling now to thank Dale's and to say I'm really happy. I had a leak, and I'd had two other people to tell me, oh, it's just coming from your vents, and it's running down like a bead, and like it was nothing. And finally, then after the snow, it began to melt. It was definitely a leak. So Dale's came out right away, and I called 3 or 4 other places. Dale's came out within 2 hours. They detected the problem, and they fixed it, and I'm just calling to thank you and to say how much I really like the way you do business.
Well, thank you very much.
So just thought I would give you a plug.
Well, I greatly appreciate that.
Thank you, Lenora.
That's nice. See,
Yeah.
there you go. That's
Well, see, we try to have reputable people on our show because when people call you, we want them to call people that give them great service and fix their problems. So.
Yes, absolutely. So we need to take a break. We'll be back with more home repairs and solutions right after this.
Than ever about their economic outlook. Wholesale inventories rose 0.8% in July. That's according to the Commerce Department, and that matches economist expectations. Sales, however, remained unchanged. Caution may be the word of the day on Wall Street, and perhaps some anxiety over stepped-up terror alerts, too. The Dow Industrials are down 132 points now. The Nasdaq has fallen 12 points. The S&P 500 index is down 10. That's nearly 1%. Bank of America has cautioned that it may be ready to trim its workforce by a heart-stopping 40,000 employees this fall. And that may not be all. The big bank is restructuring in the face of economic uncertainty, and it says the second phase of restructuring may contain more cuts. Power is being restored to some 1.4 million utility customers in Southern California, Arizona, and Baja, Mexico. A utility worker reportedly tripped a transmission line yesterday. Wall Street Journal.
Looking for a better way to grow your business? A Regions Cash Core analysis can help uncover ways to optimize your cash flow and improve your bottom line. It's all part of the better business banking experience we're building just for you. So, if you're ready for a bank with the insight and guidance to help grow your business, switch to Regions. Drop by a branch or visit regions.com/yourbusiness today. Regions, it's time to expect more. Regions Bank, member FDIC.
On to round 3. If a train leaves Spokane...
Schenectady by Saturday.
Correct. March comes before May. What's in my left pocket?
Half a mint and a rusty switchblade.
Correct.
Bam.
Who lets you watch TV episodes and movies instantly over the internet?
Ha-ha! Netflix.
Correct. Watch unlimited TV episodes and movies for only $8 a month from Netflix. See terms of use.
That is rad.
I know. Can you put me down?
It's Macy's One Day Sale Saturday, Preview Day Friday, with hundreds of items on sale store-wide. Save 70 to 85% when you take an extra 40% off fashion and clearance sportswear. Save 30 to 50% plus an extra 20% on fine jewelry. Junior screen tees, fashion tops, and dresses, buy one, get one free. Take 50% off Gianni Bernini and Style & Company handbags and wallets. And 60% off all down and down alternative comforters. Macy's One Day Sale. Savings off regular sale and clearance prices. Exclusions apply. See store for details.
Bologna and peanut butter don't go together. Stripes and plaid don't either. But thanks to the Walgreens brand sale, AA batteries and mouthwash do. Because this week at Walgreens, you can mix, match, and save on thousands of Walgreens and W brand products. Buy one Walgreens or W brand product, get one 50% off. See store or walgreens.com for details. Walgreens, there's a way. Of equal or lesser value. Offer not available on products or services submitted for insurance reimbursement. Other exclusions or restrictions may apply. Void where prohibited by law.
A man is dead, another under arrest following a shooting at the Greyhound bus station on East Kearney in Springfield. Both men were on a bus bound from Amarillo to St. Louis. Bystanders tackled the gunman and held him until police arrived. Fire has destroyed a sale barn near West Plains. The barn was on Highway 63 between West Plains and Brandsville. The cause is still under investigation. Police are looking for a man who robbed a bank in North Springfield. The robbery was at the Bank of America branch in the 600 block of West Kearney. The suspect fled on foot and was last seen running west on Della Street. A woman from Nixa has now been charged with assault and armed criminal action after allegedly stabbing her landlord. Deputies say 53-year-old Marcia Clark and her boyfriend were arguing with the landlord over a problem with hot water in the home they were renting on Shelvin Rock Road. The boyfriend was also arrested on a probation and parole violation. The 38-year-old landlord is hospitalized in stable condition. I'm Jamie Turner reporting for the Ozarks News Network.
I need a 3-phase cooling tower motor to stay in business.
At Grainger, we know what business you're in.
If we take good care of our customers, they'll take good care of us business.
The business of getting things done. That's why we offer over 900,000 products and the support you need to get your job done right and on time. Call clickgrainger.com or stop by one of our branches. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Save big during the PetSmart Fall Festival of Savings. You'll find great deals on thousands of items when you use your PetPerks card. Save 15% on select Kong products, like PetSmart's exclusive new Kong collection of collars, leashes, harnesses, retractable leashes, and crates, all designed with Kong's trademark durability and innovative features. Don't miss these great fall deals from Kong and more, going on now at PetSmart. Happiness in store. While supplies last, offer valid through September 25th.
It's Macy's One-Day Sale Saturday, Preview Day Friday, with hundreds of items on sale store-wide. Save 70 to 85% when you take an extra 40% off fashion and clearance sportswear. Save 30 to 50% plus an extra 20% on fine jewelry. Junior screen tees, fashion tops, and dresses, buy one, get one free. Take 50% off Gianni Bernini and Style & Company handbags and wallets. And 60% off all down and down alternative comforters. Macy's One-Day Sale. Savings off regular sale and clearance prices. Exclusions apply. See store for details.
For today, sunshine mixing with the clouds, breezy this afternoon, a high 78. Tonight, the low 56, partly cloudy skies and cooler. Partly sunny skies Saturday, with a shower or thunderstorm possible Saturday's afternoon, a high 78. Sunday, partly sunny skies, a high near 80. I'm AccuWeather's Michael Stacknowitz.
73 degrees in Springfield.
Well, I went down to the hardware store to see my old friend Bob. I said my roof it leaks, my rug's a mess, and my front door needs a new knob. I got squirrels in my attic, I got bats in my head. Well, Bob just leaned over the counter and he shook his head and said, "You need home repairs and solutions. Home repairs and solutions. They'll fix your windows, they'll fix your house, they'll even tell you how to get rid of a mouse. Home repairs and solutions."
And you're listening to Home Repairs and Solutions with Mark and Mary, brought to you by Spring Mountain Air Heating and Air Conditioning, your local Amana dealer. And now with the second half of the show, here are Mary Pearson, Mark Withers, and their guests for today.
Thank you, Dan.
Welcome back, everyone. Glad to have you back.
Yes, we are. Glad to be back.
This is usually the part of the show where I ask Mark, what in the world is he doing this weekend? It's kind of like, where is Mark?
Yeah. Well, got an exciting weekend. We're starting off tonight with our very first jam for our GOBS, our Greater Ozarks Bluegrass Society. And so I'd like to encourage anyone who likes music, if you play or if you just want to listen, bring your instrument or just come over and see us. We'll be on at South Haven Baptist Church over on South Campbell. That's where we'll be the second Friday of every month, now through next May, with our big jam, and we'll just all get together and play music and just have a good time. And so this is our first one tonight, and so that's exciting.
Is it free?
It is free. I mean, we encourage folks to come and join the society. It's like $15 for the year to join, and then we also have a family plan too. But it's it'll be free. Just come over and bring your instrument and have a good time.
And this is gonna be inside, I guess.
Inside, yeah. The folks over at South Haven have been so gracious to let us use their facility for this, and so we're really looking forward to it. It's going to be a good time. And then, of course, next weekend starts next Thursday, the 15th, is our big Starvey Creek Bluegrass Festival. That's and it's we've already got a report from down there at the park. A couple days ago, they already got a bunch of RVs already in there and people rolling in. So
that's great.
Yes,
that'll be fun and exciting for
sure.
Oh
yeah, I think the weather's going to be great. It's cooled off a little bit, and so I'll be down there starting next Thursday and Friday and Saturday, and so it's going to be a lot of fun.
Sounds like it. That means you're not going to be here next Friday.
I will not be here next Friday.
Again, Mark.
Yes, I know. I know, Mary. Don't fire me, please. But yeah, that's going to be a lot of fun. Always look forward to Starvey Creek. Had a great time in Atlanta last weekend. After the show last Friday.
Yes.
Why Gene and I headed to Atlanta, flew down there and to the NASCAR race. Even though the Cup race got rained out, we've seen a great nationwide race, and our good old Missouri buddy Carl Edwards. He won the nationwide, and we just had a fantastic weekend.
That's always fun when someone from Missouri wins.
Yeah, that's right. So we was rooting either for Carl Edwards. My dad and Carl Edwards' grandpa fishes together every now and then and stuff. So got a little bit of a connection there, and so either Carl or Jamie McMurray, we was rooting for either one of them, and Carl pulled it off. Man, he ran a great race, and
well, good. Now was that on TV too?
Yeah, it was.
Okay.
It was because I actually recorded it while I was gone and sat and watched it when I got back just to see it on TV.
Just to make sure you saw what you really thought
yeah,
you
well,
saw.
there was a couple wrecks, Seems like the wrecks always happen over on the back stretch or down in turns 3 and 4 most of the time. And so there was a couple accidents that we couldn't really see to know exactly what happened. And so I fast-forwarded and
To just
know,
get to
watch
the good
wrecks.
part.
Good parts, that's right.
Okay.
So,
yeah.
and like I say, we was disappointed because we rained. It rained the Cup race out on Sunday, and they ended up running it on Tuesday. But Jeff Gordon won that. He's now the third winningest driver in NASCAR. I know I'm a Jeff Gordon fan. I'm sorry, I have to admit that. But that was his 85th win. And
Everybody needs a fan.
Everybody does, I guess. So,
There
but
you
anyhow,
go.
we Gene and I had a fantastic time.
Well,
So,
good.
Yep.
Good. Sounds like you're going to have another fun weekend and one
Yeah.
after that. So
Yeah.
you're just a fun kind of guy.
Ah, yeah, I guess. Exciting, boy.
Well, this weekend we're going to go by Kansas City because I have a nephew that's going to get married. So we're going to a
Really?
wedding.
Cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe not as exciting as a NASCAR race or
well,
music festival, but
weddings don't excite me too much. But,
Well, yeah. But it's my family, so
absolutely.
gonna go and encourage them and
there you go.
congratulate them and all that
Yeah.
stuff. So
Oh, that'll be fun.
it'll be okay.
Big party afterwards after the
Yeah,
wedding.
little party afterwards
There you
and all
go.
that. So
Oh,
that's
okay.
probably where the fun part is.
Yeah.
I'm guessing.
Yeah,
Anyway.
no doubt. That's for sure. 862-9977, 1-800-375-0056 is the numbers to call. It's Home Repairs and Solutions, and we're visiting with Jeff from Dale's Roofing. So glad to have you.
Yep, thanks again.
Why don't you, when we start off here, why don't you go ahead and give out some of your contact information, if you would, again, so people can be ready to write that down. Your phone number and your website. You have a great website as well.
The phone number is 882-2158, and the website is just dalesroofing.com.
Well, that's easy.
Yeah,
That's an easy website.
it is.
Some of them get a little cumbersome, but that one will be easy to remember. So, I had a question for you on like at the our house in Nixa, we have a lot of trees, and occasionally they will get to where they overhang our roof. And part of our house in Nixa is flat over the sunroom, and so we have a rubber roof on that part of it because it's just totally flat. How much damage does tree limbs and all that do to roofs, and how important is it to keep all that trimmed back so that you're not tearing something up?
Well, you want to keep the tree limbs off the roof because if there's just wind blows, they can scrape the shingles and rub the granules off, or if they do break off, they can puncture holes through your roof.
Oh, okay. Well, Paul does a good job keeping those all trimmed off and trimmed back and everything. But, I have been by some places where there's a pretty heavy roof limb just kind of beating the tar out of the roof, and I'm thinking, I don't think that's good.
Not a good idea.
I don't think that's good. But that's something else that people might want to just be aware of, especially this time of year. Paul trims a lot in the fall and in the spring. He trims twice a year because we have a lot of trees, and they seem to grow really quickly. So I know he does a lot of trimming, and he's always concerned about getting all that off the roof and not letting it scrape across the roof and that type of thing. And then with the rubber roof, is there any kind of maintenance on a rubber roof?
You just got to watch the seals on it, or the seams. Make sure, because
Oh.
sometimes they can work loose.
Okay.
And then water has a chance to penetrate through and run in.
Are the seams glued, or how do you?
It depends
how
on
are
which style it is. Some of them
Oh.
you can use a torch to heat them, to seal them together.
Oh, okay.
But other ones, they're glued together.
Okay, I'm not sure what ours is. But I didn't know, like with shingles and stuff, there's maintenance, but with the rubber roof, I didn't know if there was anything special. But so just watch the seams on a
Yep,
rubber
and
roof.
just watch it, and if you have a granular rubber or torch down, the granules on it are just same as granules on your shingles, and they can
Okay.
start wearing off.
Okay. So I guess the granules on the tile is really a big protectant.
Yes,
It's
yes,
not
they are.
just
Not just
decorator or
looks.
color. It's protectant for the shingle.
Do you see? Is there anybody doing shakes anymore?
Yeah, there's a few people doing them. Most people are going away from them just because of the maintenance issue with those.
Right.
But as far as looks go, you really can't beat a shake roof.
Oh yeah.
That's my personal opinion, but they really look nice.
Yeah. Now, do you do shake roofs?
We do.
Do you?
Mm.
Great. Yeah. That's something that I haven't seen in quite a while. I do love the looks of a shake roof, though, and and there is some maintenance.
Oh,
that
yes.
needs to be done to a shake roof too.
Are those wood shingles?
They are. Yes.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I like that look too.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you have to do? Do you have to seal them, or like you do other wood?
With
or?
shakes, squirrels are a bad deal
Oh.
with those.
Mhm.
They like to eat them, chew through.
Oh.
Then you have get all sorts of animals in your attic.
Oh.
So you gotta watch out for holes with those. And then since they're a cedar product, since they're wood based, they will start wearing thin, and then you have potential for blow offs, or they'll start cracking, and then you have potential for water running in there.
Yeah, I like that look too really well. I think that's a really nice look too. But
Yeah,
a lot
so
of maintenance.
A lot of maintenance. Used to in your higher end subdivisions, a lot of them require that you do, shakes. And I don't know whether they do that as much anymore now as what they used to, since we do have the architecturals and the shingles nowadays. A lot of them from a distance almost have the shake look.
Yes.
And but yeah, a shake roof's nice. I like that.
I do too. I think it looks really neat.
Yep, I do too. 862-9977, 1-800-375-0056. We have, about probably 10 minutes or so left if you want to call in and got a question for Jeff or Mary or myself. We'd still love to talk to you today. We've been talking roofs and all the different kinds of roofs and anywhere from just a plain old 3-tab plumb up to the architecturals to the metal roofs, shake roofs, whatever. You guys can do them all.
That's right.
Sometimes roofing to me is kind of like wallpaper and paint. It can be a little bit overwhelming with all the different options that are available. So if you go out, do you help people that are actually building their own home as well?
Yes, we do.
That want you to give them a bid on the roof. Do you kind of help them pick the type of roof they need? Is there different tile for different styles of houses, or is it just what you like?
Most of the time, there's different styles that go with certain houses.
Okay.
And all of our roofing specialists bring out samples with them. And so once we see the design of it, we can show you samples of what each one looks like.
And something else I think that is kind of difficult, and I've seen this around before, but you need to kind of be careful when you're picking out brick. If you're going to do brick, then I would think that you would need to coordinate that with your roof color, because I've seen some that look really interesting. It's like they didn't put the two together or something. I don't know, but I can see how things like that are overwhelming. Picking out brick and roofs and all that is just something that I think is pretty difficult. And sometimes when you are looking at a small sample of something and then you see it on a finished house and you're looking at a brick compared to like thousands on a house, it's a different look.
Oh, yes.
So I didn't know if you would be able to help people with that as well. Like say, what is your outside going to be? Is it going to be brick? What color? What style? And then you can kind of help them put their shingles with their brick they're picking so that it looks like a complete home and not like you did part of it one time and then decided to do something else later and you look two different looks going on or something.
Yeah, every roof we do, we put in our computer system, and it's labeled under the shingle color and style. And so when people call in and say they're looking for a certain style, we can give them that address, and they can drive by and see how it looks.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Great idea.
So they can actually see it on a finished house and not just in a picture. Oh, that's a great idea.
It's the same way with when I go pick brick for a new house or pick out our roofing colors. Of course, we've had the guys on here from Springfield Brick before, and I'll usually, if it's a brick I've never used, I'll get an address because, it's one thing to look at a sample, but when you see it on the whole wall, it's different. It's just like
totally different.
Yeah, it's just like picking out your paint. I've seen people or dealt with people when I was ran the paint department for Meeks years ago. They come in and they pick out a swatch of paint, and it might be really dark. And they're thinking, it'll be fine. And I always tell them, now when you get it on a whole wall, it's going to be totally different. And they go home and they paint that wall, and they be back, and they're like, oh, wow, I made a mistake.
That is not what we were thinking.
Yeah, and so, it's really hard to visualize when you're looking at a little swatch of paint or just a sample board of shingles or a few bricks. And I think it's very important if you pick out your roof first, take a sample of that shingle to the brick company, or
vice versa.
Yeah, or vice versa, because I have seen it time after time where the two just totally clash and it just looks horrible. So they need to go together. Same way with siding. If you're going to do vinyl siding on your house, take a piece of that vinyl and hold it up to the shingles and make sure that color is going to go good together, because the color of a roof can change totally what the color of your siding looks like. It's
that's true.
Just a visual thing. So.
And that's a lot more expensive mistake than a gallon of paint.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
So, or if someone just has an existing home and is needing a new roof, maybe the product they have on their home now is not available today, or they want a different product, then I would think that, for me, a little guidance with doing the proper color and the proper shingle and all that for the style of my home would be very much beneficial, because you can, not being in the business and not doing that for a living, It'd be real easy to make an expensive mistake.
And that's where it comes in using a professional like you guys, because, been in business for 25 years, you can help the customer. I mean, it's not like just sending them into a big box store and say, hey, just go in and look at their shingles, pick out what you want, You guys are experts, and you can come out and kind of help direct them and say, well, this is what's going to look good with your color brick or siding, or this style of shingle is really what you need for this style of house. And that's the benefit of using a professional.
And most of our roofing specialists have been around for a while, so we've seen most of the brick shingle combinations. So we have a very good idea of what's going to go with that and direct you in the right way.
Yeah, that's very important right there.
I agree.
Yep.
I agree. I don't like to make those thousands of dollars of mistakes.
Well, no, none of us do.
Yeah.
And so that's why we always stress, talk to a professional.
That's right. Work with someone who's going to help you stay within your budget and direct you in the way that where when the product's done, you're going to be happy with it. So that's why we're glad you're here.
Yep. Yep. And one more time before the show gets away from us here, give all your information as far as how people can get a hold of you.
The phone number again is 882-2158, and our email or our website address is dalesroofing.com.
Now, are you guys open? What are you open on the weekends at all, or just Monday through Friday, or what's your hours?
We do take calls on Saturdays from 9 to 12.
Okay.
And then we're open Monday through Friday from 7 to 5.
Now, do you guys have a showroom where folks can come out and look?
We have a showroom. We have a display set up,
and
then we have, once you come out there, we can always pull out more samples from the back if they're not out front and show you there. Then we can take them out to your home, actually set them up on your roof for you, so you can see how it's going to look, get a good idea that way.
Wow.
Well, that's great.
Yeah. One-stop shop.
There you go. There you go. You don't get that from the big box stores. You don't get that kind of personal service. So, if you're someone out there who's wanting to not make a big mistake and want some personal service and some professional help, then give these guys a call.
That's right. No matter how cut up a roof or something that somebody may have, it's no problem for you guys to come out and measure it, tell them exactly how many square shingles are going to need. A lot of people don't realize shingles are sold in squares. And, because me being in the business, that's just everyday terminology. But, you mention a square and people are like, huh? But
I need more than a square.
I need more than a square. That's right. But you guys can just do it all. That's great.
Yep. So we'll get out there, measure everything up, go over the options with you guys. Exactly, what we think, what we recommend should be up there. Then we just work from that way on.
Now, if they have more than one layer, say they have a couple layers on, and we was talking about in Greene County, you said 2 layers is what's allowed. You can just do the tear off, haul off,
disposal. If there's any rotten decking up there, we change that out.
Okay, well, that was my next question. What if you get them tore off and you find that there is some rotten decking or something?
Yeah, we do change it out. There's no sense putting a new roof over rotten decking. So
absolutely.
We'll tear off into some of them, and people put like the tin over knot holes or rotten decking. And that's just a temporary fix.
That's a Band-Aid.
Yes. Yeah. The old tin shingles. Just to show you how far I go back, I remember when the guys used to cut the bottoms out of tin cans, coffee cans, or whatever, and use those to patch the knot holes on decking. I've seen a lot of them done. that's the truth. Yeah.
So they just nail it on there, or glue it down, or what they do?
Oh, you just nail it. But they would. I've seen that many times, like the bottom of coffee cans, because they're a little bit bigger. The guys just cut those bottoms out and slap them down over a knot hole or whatever, and a few nails, and away you go.
That's called recycling.
Yeah, I guess so. But yeah, and then of course they come out with the tin shingles that a lot of people use. Flashing. It seems like there's a lot of improper flashing that went on years ago.
Oh, yes.
That's a good source for leaks right there.
Yes, it is. Yeah, a piece of flashing when you go up around a wall or a chimney, you need one piece of flashing for each shingle. If you just put the flashing down, like I've seen it before, they just put a piece of roll metal and use that as a flashing. Water's going to hit that, and it's going to run right in.
So the proper flashing, that is very important. And so, and we always see it around chimneys, it seems like, Now, do you do anything with, like, if you get up there on the roof and you see, like, the chimney cap and stuff like that's bad, do you guys do anything with that, or just tell the homeowner, hey, this is something that you need to
If it's just the cap, we can take care of that.
Okay.
Put some flex crown on there. But if the bricks are coming out, we'll usually recommend a mason for that.
Right. Okay. So, Well, there you go. Man, they can do it all.
Lots of information. One last question here real quick. I know that sometimes we have really damaging hail in this part of the country. After a hailstorm or if we have a lot of hail or something like that, what do people need to look for? I mean, a lot of times I know that'll kind of dent your shingles or your tin or something, but is there anything other than just the denting that people need to be aware of after, like, hail hits your roof?
Usually you need to look for bruises on the shingles themselves. But as far as...
They bruise?
They do. Where the hail hits it, it'll knock the granules off.
Oh,
then it'll
okay.
bust the backing of it.
Oh, okay. Okay. Because I know a lot of times you might not have a leak right away after hail hits your roof or something, but maybe it just damages it and weakens it enough that, you know, then maybe in the spring when you get some heavy rains, that's when the leaks actually happen.
It can, yeah.
So
one main thing with that is if you have plastic box vents, the hail will actually knock holes in those, and then you should have an open source for water to get in.
Okay. Okay. So just because you don't have a leak after a hailstorm doesn't mean you haven't had substantial damage to your roof.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
I always wondered about that, what actually hail did to a shingle. I mean, yeah, I know it'll dent it, knock the granules off, but I didn't know otherwise what kind of damage that it would actually do. Now, you guys do insurance estimates, I'm sure.
Yes.
Also for folks that.
And it's always good once you have a hailstorm to call a roofer to come out first, because that way they can tell you if you have hail damage or not. Otherwise,
okay.
If you call the insurance first, it's usually if there's no damage, it's still a claim.
That's true.
So,
right.
That's true. That's
good point.
Yep.
Save some folks some time and heartache right there.
Exactly.
So, well, Jeff's been great having you on.
Well, thank you. Thanks again for having me.
Absolutely. We appreciate you coming by.
Yep, we do. What do you got going on this weekend? A wedding?
A wedding.
Yeah.
Up by Kansas City.
Wow.
I'm telling you, big city.
Going to the big city.
Going to the big city.
Well, I'll tell you what. I hope you have more fun there. Well, I had fun in Atlanta, but you talk about that is a big city to me.
It is.
And there were
lots
so many
of folks.
Oh, so many things going on down there. It's just incredible. Couldn't hardly get around. At
That's
midnight,
true.
It was 6 lanes of traffic, bumper to bumper.
Aren't you happy you live in Springfield?
Yes, I am. Happy to live in the good old Ozarks. But
absolutely,
you have fun in Kansas City.
I will, and you have a great time at your music festival tonight. Hope a lot of folks come out and see you.
We will.
And you have a great weekend as well. And thanks again for coming, Jeff.
Thank you.
We appreciate it.
This is Home Repairs Solutions. We'll be back next week.